G'day folks, Rich from the Warriors Path Academy. Today I am sharing with you 3 methods to open a folding knife such as this with one hand. So before we get into the how, let's understand the why of what that particular attribute allows me to do. So if you can put yourself into some kind of visioned emergency situation, such as you're hanging off a cliff and you're caught up in a particular line of rope, or you're in a watercraft and it's capsized and you need to cut yourself out of that. Designers some time ago decided that it would be advantageous in those situations to develop a tool that could be opened with one hand. Okay? So to do that, they built in this thumb ring here. Okay? Now, martial artists and knife fighters the world over instantly took to that as well, because it simply made deploying the weapon easy and very rapid. So that's the how of it. It's the thumb ring that allows me to apply traction to open the blade. Let's look now at the 3 methods that I use now to do so. Okay. Method number 1, and the most simple method, is simply a thumb push. Okay, so I'm using my thumb, the weapon is held in my hand, in my palm, and I'm pushing with my thumb here. Pushing forwards, and it opens up. Okay, simple as that. Now, when you become practiced at that, that becomes a reliable thing that you can do at an unconscious level without doing harm to yourself. It has to be unconscious, learned muscle memory that you can do under pressure. Otherwise, you're just going to fumble and drop it. So let's look at method number 2. Now, for argument's sake, I'm going to call this, or refer to this, as a gravity pinch. Now what I'm going to do is utilize the same thumb hole here, and I'm going to pinch it there. As if I've just pulled this out of my pocket, it's come out in an odd or unpredictable way. I've fumbled it here, I'm looking for that hole. Bang, got it, and now I simply flick the hilt or the handle this way. And I'm using a wrist flicking action here with a bit of gravity. So pinch, grip, and open. Simple as that. Once it's there, I then smother the tool. Now I'm going to be higher up on the blade than I'd like to be. Live with it. It's about working with what is, rather than having this perfect design come out in your hand exactly. It won't happen under pressure. So let's work with that. Now this allows just as much utility with the blade as a full length grip like so. Okay, and you'll get time potentially to do so if it's required. But I start here, so be comfortable with that. So the pinch and flick is that. Pinch and flick, simple as that. Again, lots of practice and it becomes second nature, unconscious behavior, and you're able to deploy it effectively. The third technique is the opposite of what we just did with the pinch flick. This is what I call a gravity flick. This time I'm using the weight of the blade because I've grasped the tool by the hilt or the handle. So now to use the same process to flick out the blade this way. Okay, so it comes out of my pocket or wherever it's been stowed, and I go, okay, it's there, pinch like so, and flick like so. From there, same process, smother the handle, and then we're straight into whatever we've got to do. Cutting this, cutting that. So there's 3 techniques to practice. So in summary, thumb push, pinch flick, gravity flick. Okay. Why they're useful is because you might have your weapon, tool, whatever you want to refer to it as, in your hand. You might be engaging with someone here, and then things get worse. So at this point, I can come back into using that extended fang to do more work. Okay. So and it might be that I hit someone first, stun them, they come back with lethal force, and we're into survival, actual combative survival. So that's when we reapply lethal force, and only in that situation. Remember, being capable of violence doesn't make you violent. It makes you prepared, and it makes you responsible for everything you possess in that space. You're accountable for your actions. We all are. Look, I hope that inspires you to do some training today, to get out, and if you've got one of these at home, play with it. Make it meld to your hand and become one with it so that you can employ it under fight or flight distress. And we'll see you next time. Be strong.